How AI is going to impact. Everyone's talking about, sir, AI aa gaya hai. What about their jobs in the future? Sir, AI aa gaya hai. What is the future of the network engineer? Can you answer this thing?
नेटवर्किंग ही नहीं जाने वाला है. Networking is not going anywhere. In fact, we are getting more powerful because of AI.
Let's compare it to the before 5 or 10 years. क्या mindset shift आ गया अभी candidates में when you're taking the interviews?
That is, I think, mindset is changing in terms of the job market, in terms of how I prepare myself and plan my career, in terms of how I plan my certifications or learning path and all that. Recruitment as well.
Okay, next question.
So you're hiring a guy for the L2 profile, L2 plus profile, 10 lakh, 12, 15 lakhs, कुछ इसके बीच में you are hiring. So आपका prime focus क्या रहता है? वो certification या वो resume में क्या रहता है देखने का?
CCIE, अगर if I see somebody, then obviously I'll be firstly little jealous because I could not do it myself. But yes, certification is not everything. Definitely, skills are most important.
I hope people who's watching can easily correlate कि what you are doing और ये network वाले बंदे करते क्या हैं. Welcome back to our another episode from Bangalore podcast series. And today I have someone who's having more than 3 decades of experience in the networking domain. And trust me, I'm going to ask everything what is running back of your mind if you're into the networking, planning to move into the cyber or anywhere in the world. And we'll take best from his experience. So welcome Krishna to our podcast.
Thank you.
Like we want to know about your experience, like the vast experience in the networking domain, because it was like even before when I know about the network, you're working in the networking. So let's start from the very beginning. Tell me about yourself in the networking.
Sure. Thank you, first of all, Nitin, for having me here. So I started like any other network engineer, as I would say, followed my seniors, joined like a junior engineer, fiddling with all the wires, cables and all that.
What's your graduation background?
I did my Polytechnic as a basic technical qualification.
Okay.
So I did it in a stream called Industrial Electronics.
Okay.
So it's more of controls and systems and industry, electricals and all that. But somehow at that generation time, all of us were going towards computer, networking, programming, those areas only. In fact, networking itself was not a specialized domain at that point in time.
Okay.
People were still calling it as systems administration and all that.
Yes.
So in the government thing, they used to call as data team or something like that, right? So it was just beginning of networking, I would say. Although the technologies came through, but in practice, people were just realizing that networking also can be a domain by itself. So I started like that basically. At that time. So we were doing everything what is supposed to be done as an administrator, system administration, application administration, helping users, also building networks.
Okay.
So fortunately, I had the right opportunities at right time, I would say, because the at least organizations that I worked with, they were innovative at that point in time. They were trying to stay ahead of the game compared to their peers. One example is that the company that I started with, which is a data publishing company, they were the first ones to actually connect all their printing stations or printing centers. It was a daily newspaper kind of thing. And the timeliness of paper that has to come in. So earlier it was like you print it in one central place and then you ship it to a different city 200, 300 kilometers away. So you have to print at least 8 hours or 9 hours ahead of time because the transport would take that much time. But this was the organization which was actually connected. So the news was sent in almost real time. And then people were getting, actually the morning newspaper was coming at the last edition. So even an hour before news that was breaking out was still, was printed on the paper.
Yes. Okay.
So that was again because of networking really, right? I mean, although it was modems and, all that X modem, Z modem, Funda, we were doing at 9.6 kbps, but still it was connected.
Okay.
So I think that probably caught me that networking is something, although I didn't know what it was really, but this connectivity the bug was really caught up with me.
Okay.
So that's how I started. Then I moved to different organizations. At least initial 5-6 years, I was in the same team like system administration team.
Okay.
So we were doing everything from mail administration to
everything,
because there was no such distinction between a network separate and security separate and computer servers are different and user computing was different. All these domain classifications were not there.
You're Superman in the team, so you have
Superman
to manage.
in the team, yes, exactly. Actually, that way it was good one way because we had that holistic knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
So we knew what is, if some end user is complaining that his Microsoft Office is not working, Outlook not working, we know what it is really. So I would say it is an advantageous thing, but may not be applicable in every instance, right? I mean, because now we have a very focused approach in every domain. I think that is the reason why this classification was required. I mean, you have to focus on end user itself because the complexity has increased so much, whether it is storage or data center or servers or any other domain that you take. I think that focus may be necessary, but we had our advantage, I would say, the old timers, if you can call it that way. So yeah, that's how I started. Then I think the break came in when I joined another organization, which was one of the first couple of ISPs in India with nationwide license to run ISP operations. So that time again, DOT was BSNL at that time. DOT was the only service provider providing retail internet services. BSNL was doing the international, either BSNL or STPI. Only both players were there for international connectivity.
Right.
Nobody else was providing. It was highly controlled domain. So we were the first one. So ours was one of the first IP backbones in India.
Okay.
We switched from X25 to IP, from frame relay tokening to IP kind of thing. So that, I always felt ISP is one area where a network engineer would really enjoy. Because like I keep saying, it is like a Makkah. So I mean, you would not see the power of networking again, because whatever change that you are doing, right, that will influence the entire population. I mean, today you decide to route all the traffic from, let's say, instead of Bombay, head end of fiber into, let's say, some other place, Chennai head end. So the entire thing is going to change. And you will visualize what is going to really happen to the traffic, right? And you know that whoever is actually accessing, you can actually trace everything. I mean, if somebody is browsing hotmail.com at that time or microsoft.com, you know where the traffic is going, how is the traffic being processed, who is delivering it. So you have the inside view of the internet. So that's why probably I felt, for networking, it was a mecca. ISP is a mecca. I still relish those days of my ISP experience. Then, and that too, you provide services to different companies. It's not just their enterprise network or the LAN network that they deal with, but their business depends on them. So there were several instances where I myself saw it in action. Like for example, we were providing internet service to a company in Calcutta. They were launching e-auction kind of thing. I mean, electronic auction for the first time in India.
Okay.
For
And which year?
It was in 2001, 2001-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was very early, I mean, online auction kind of thing. So I was there when that auction was happening, and they were actually saying, your internet has to be absolutely error-free. No link downtime, the response has to be less than 100 millisecond. 100 millisecond was still a good thing, by the way, at that time.
Yes.
Which is really rare these days. We are talking about tens of milliseconds, which is the highest.
Correct.
But still, it was good at the time. The applications were still designed like that. So I could see the application in action. So similarly, I mean, there were a lot of such instances where we could see how internet is being consumed by different people. Be it, like I said, e-auction company, which is auctioning the tea estates and all that, funda, or hospitals, for example, retail stores, for example. In fact, one of the companies in Bangalore, they launched the financial services, India Infoline, if you remember. So they were using our internet services at the point in time. So the thing is, you see those in actions, then you realize that, yes, I am doing something really meaningful and great. So that's how I started. Then I moved to different roles. From engineering, I went to product testing. I worked for one of the leading OEMs, the network equipment vendors. I was part of the development team. I was doing development testing. They specifically needed somebody from the domain because they wanted their products to be tested in a almost near real scenario kind of thing, like how the products are used or deployed in real scenarios in the industry. So they wanted someone with that experience.
Okay.
Hence, they were building that team. So I was one of the few guys who joined, and then we expanded the team later because we were able to bring in that use cases or the actual application of the complexity of a service provider environment or multi-tiered service provider environment. Like you have a tier 0 ISP, and then you have regional ISPs and local ISPs. Like city level, we used to have some city net or something at Bangalore specific guy. So that could be a third level service provider who is drawing some from AT&T or as a tier 1 or tier 0 kind of thing, right? So I was doing that platform testing, creating those scenarios and, validating their features and all that. Then I did technical project management with, again, one of the global ISPs. This again opened up a different chapter in me. Until then, project management was another honestly postman job. So I mean, I didn't know because I have not experienced it myself. I was doing little delivery operations. Okay, we knew about this little bit of software development probably, but a real project management I have not done that until that point in time. But that gave me an exposure. So that is when I honed up I learned about project management, how to do this in a very structured, methodical manner. How do we track multiple projects? How do you create programs really? And then you use global teams to deliver your projects across the globe. Like I said, it was a global ISP. So in fact, we were working for POPs which are anywhere between Southern America like Chile and all that to the Far East. So if you have to do let's say a router upgrade across on a global scale, or if you're doing some BGP changes for some particular AS number because you are becoming a transit to different ISPs. So then how do you do the changes, affect the changes across different regions and all that? So it requires a lot of planning. Because it's a global ISP, it is going to create a large impact. So that gave a different experience in project management that point.
Right.
Then I moved to operations delivery and all that. But one more role that I did, which I learned a lot, is I was with one of the service integrators and service providers where I did a architect kind of role. So at that time, my focus was only to build architectures really. So not the architectures that we talk about these days very lightly. I mean, you say titles are very easy to get. People say architect, so you become an SME, and after 3 years, they say that I want to become an architect. But actually, the science of architecture is quite different, really. So if people who have done TOGAF or that kind of certification, then they would appreciate the real purpose of architecture. So that gave me a good opportunity to learn, really. So I did that thing as well. Then I am right now leading an engineering team. And thankfully, both experiences in project management, architecture, service delivery, and then the ground level knowledge are all coming to really help, talk to the teams, or when I talk to the customers, they are coming handy to me.
Correct.
Yeah.
So that's a vast experience. Amazing.
Sorry, I took
experience.
more time to explain.
No,
but,
not at all.
Yeah.
That is an amazing experience. So, which one thing I already discussed into the pre-podcast, but still I want to know why when you come to know about this podcast, you met me. What makes you feel कि ठीक है करते हैं देखते हैं क्या है मतलब क्या आया आपके बैक ऑफ द माइंड क्या आया कि क्यों जाना चाहिए पॉडकास्ट में?
तो एक चीज़ था कि जब मैं नया एम्प्लॉयज़ को देखता हूँ जो नए जनरेशन वाले बोल सकते हैं ऑब्वियसली देयर विल बी अ गैप एवरी 5 years पीपल से जनरेशन इज चेंजिंग. तो जो मेरा सोच का तरीका अलग रहेगा और उनका सोच का तरीका अलग रहेगा. Maybe I am a bit slow. They are quite fast. So in fact, in one of the sessions, people were asking me, "Can you run like the young horses?" So I said, "No, maybe I am not, but I will bring the experience. I will bring the maturity, but I can't run faster." So both are required because at point you have to run faster as well. So I thought maybe I will share these experiences. So when they run fast, when they are running at that pace, they can have those guardrails. So they can ensure that they don't, fumble, slip, or fall down. They can still run at the same pace that they want to run, but with all these, the pitfalls or potential pitfalls and all that knowingly.
Right.
So they can improve themselves and they can make it much better.
This is what I want to know. Like a lot of people, those are watching this podcast, and the reason is because like they don't have, most of them having no idea about this domain, networking specifically. अगर मैं बोलूँ तो, and they are very eager कि यार मेरे को network start करना है. So a lot of question running back of the mind कि यार जैसे they watch YouTube videos, shorts कुछ चलता है ना तो they come to know कि यार IT में क्या होता है. वो एक instance को record कर लेते हैं कि लेट्स से दिल्ली में यमुना ओवरफ्लड हो गई तो क्या है फोन आ रहे हैं कि आर यू ओके सम रिलेटिव्स फार अवे. अरे पूरा दिल्ली थोड़ा ना डूब गया, वो जस्ट नियर बाय स्पेस ही तो हुआ. बट द न्यूज एंड एवरीथिंग स्प्रेड लाइक दिस.
इट कैन क्रिएट
कि बैंगलोर में किसी ने कन्नड़ा बोलने पे किसी को कुछ कह दिया तो वो पूरा बैंगलोर ही वायरल हो गया है. सो पीपल आर आस्किंग यू आर गोइंग टू द बैंगलोर ना, डोंट जस्ट गेट इनटू द मेस विद दिस लोकल पीपल एंड ऑल. तो इट बिकम इसी तरीके से माइंडसेट बन जाता है. तो बच्चे क्या है दे हैव द माइंडसेट कि यार 40+ हो जाएंगे तो कैसे होगा हमारा आईटी में, हाउ वी सर्वाइव, जॉब से निकाल देते हैं क्या, एंड नेटवर्किंग का क्या होगा फ्यूचर, नेटवर्किंग में जॉब लग जाती है. तो देयर लॉट ऑफ मिथ्स इन द मार्केट. तो 1 by 1 उसको क्रैक करते हैं ना आपके एक्सपीरियंस के साथ.
एक बात मैं बोल सकता हूँ जो मेरा ख्याल से विथ माई एक्सपीरियंस, यू टेक एनी IT domain and compare it with networking. Networking is something that did not change.
It did not change.
Exactly. उसमें एडवांसमेंट आ गए हैं, बहुत सारे एडवांसमेंट्स आ गए हैं, नए नए टूल्स आ गए हैं. पीपल आर टॉकिंग अबाउट, आई थिंक यू आर ऑल्सो मेंशनिंग व्हेन वी मेट, क्लाउड एआई का बहुत इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहा है आजकल. यस, उसका असर नेटवर्क पे भी पड़ रहा है, बट इट्स नॉट दैट द फंडामेंटल्स हैव चेंज. सो if somebody is coming into networking, they can be really sure that the variation, like compared to a programming guy, so people were learning Visual Basic, उसके साथ C Sharp आ गया, ठीक है, but आजकल, I mean, there are 100 programming languages, 200 platforms, 300 frameworks. What do I learn really? I mean, I don't know. If I'm a developer, I'm really scared. But networking guy, yeah, I'm good, thank you. So networking is one domain where you can really feel that engineering thing. At the same time, you don't have to worry about it's going to disappear tomorrow completely.
Yes.
It's just going to add on what you have really learned. So that's really a good domain to be in with.
Exactly. So I want your, the answer on it. Ki I usually say कि boss, the more networking domain. अब अगर मेरे से कोई पूछता है, why should I go to the networking? सर क्यों जाऊँ मैं? I said the more humans are get connected, जितना हम future में बढ़ते जा रहे हैं ना,
Absolutely.
the more we need network guys.
Yeah.
क्योंकि the more human speech is growing ना,
Correct.
they need to be connect. They want connect as soon as possible. और जब तक ये चाह रहेगी, I think we have the opportunities. हम network engineer market से outdate नहीं होने वाले.
Outdate नहीं होने वाले.
Always in demand. हमारी demand बढ़ने ही वाली है. So how much you are satisfied with this statement?
One beautiful point you made, that people connecting thing, right? So that is a fundamental need. But I think there can't be more better comparison with the need for networking compared to need to connect people.
Yes.
Because it's exactly same commonsensical approach. End of the day, you need to connect with people. Of course, human being is a societal animal, or like they say. So we are an animal which requires that society and connecting kind of thing.
Yes.
And networking as a technology is the one that is going to make that. So yeah, networking is going to be there definitely. And one more thing is, you build cloud, AI, whatever funda that you talk about from the ground to the sky.
Exactly.
Networking is the heart of it. It's like the veins are, the sensory system that I have in my body. It's as important as that. और जैसे भी बहुत लोगों का एक्सपीरियंस रहता है, एक बार जो भी डाउन हो गया, आपका मोबाइल नहीं चल रहा है, नेटवर्क डाउन हुआ होगा, हाँ, सो सेम थिंग हैपेंस, राइट? आई मीन, यू गो टू अ कॉर्पोरेट कंपनी ऑल्सो, उनका ईमेल आउटबॉक्स से गया नहीं, दिन से एक बार नेटवर्क चेक करो. So problem could be anywhere, but they know the importance of network. So that is the foundation on which you are building big facades and buildings and all that जो भी बना रहे हैं बड़े बड़े, it's all foundation is on networking only.
Networking. मतलब आजकल me and my wife both are network engineers. We started our career as a network engineer. तो when we see the things, जैसे अब हम spending on the vehicles, spending on the appliances.
Yep.
अब वो क्या AI लिख के देने लगे हैं that go and buy a washing machine AI based, AI air conditioner and all. तो मैं और मेरी वाइफ समटाइम वी स्पोक टू ईच अदर. अभी जैसे नए नए फंक्शंस आ गए हैं, तो अभी घर में एयर कंडीशन है, व्हेन यू कम अराउंड 200 मीटर तो ऑटोमेटिकली नोटिफिकेशन आ जाता है, डू यू वांट टू टर्न ऑन द एसी, आप घर के पास आ गए हो. तो इट इज़ हैपनिंग बिकॉज ऑफ द AI, दैट इज सेकेंडरी. भाई हम नेटवर्क वाले हैं, पहले वो नेटवर्क कनेक्टिविटी बनाई है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट मैं अपने फ़ोन को उसको निकालूंगा एंड जस्ट पुश वो जो स्टार्ट बटन है उसको क्लिक करूंगा. सो द नेटवर्क डेटा पैकेट वो वहां से वहां तक गया है, तो रीच आउट है, देन ओनली टर्न ऑन. ये कोई मैजिक अभी बाहर वालों के लिए तो वी आर वेरी अंडररेटेड कि हम लोग कौन है. तो वो कितनी भी हाई फाई टेक्नोलॉजीज हो, उसमें AI इंप्लीमेंट हो गया और कुछ भी चल रहा हो, लेकिन वो तब तक पॉसिबल नहीं है जब तक हम नेटवर्क वाले डेटा वहां तक नहीं पहुंचा रहे, पैकेट को वहां स्विच नहीं कर रहे. सो आई थिंक दिस इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू अंडरस्टैंड. अगर कोई हमारा पॉडकास्ट देख रहा है कि हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट इज नेटवर्किंग इन द वेन्स ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजीज टुडे, कितनी ज्यादा जरूरत है आज कुछ भी हो जाए.
No, it is definitely critical. I would say, in fact, it is mission critical.
Yes.
In many places, it is mission critical. Like I was quoting an example, e-auction was that what I have seen 20 years ago.
20 years
But
ago.
even today, in fact, I am working for a customer right now. It's one of the biggest telecom product manufacturer. जो उनका फैक्ट्री है इंडिया में, उतना बड़ा कस्टमर है वो.
अच्छा.
It's 24/7. Okay. So even a second downtime will actually halt their production line, and it can run into some, a big financial impact, negative loss.
Yes.
तो उनको ट्रांसफॉर्म करना है. So we are not touching any of their manufacturing assets. We are not touching their computer servers. All that I am doing is I am upgrading the network gear or changing the vendor from X to Y. That's the transformation that I'm making. I'm not making big changes also, but still. So even 1 second downtime. So we are taking so much of care on how do I build a parallel network, how do I ensure that the switchover happens seamlessly, which applications I can run in parallel and or via DR and all that. So that's how it is. And I mean, I'm just talking about a factory, but imagine about emergency services,
Yes.
or medical kind of facilities, or defense kind of systems. So network is becoming really, really mission critical. Everything is dependent on network today. Resources may be centralized in the cloud,
Yes.
but that is what the services that are available. I have to still consume them.
Yes.
So I have to have connectivity to consume. Exactly, आप जो washing machine वाला simple example लिए थे, same, it's the same thing. You scale it up.
Yes.
So you become, if that connectivity is not there, you may have a much advanced AI enabled washing machine, but उसका कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा, आपका connectivity नहीं हो तो ठीक से. So exactly same thing. So it is mission critical, it is important.
Yes.
In fact, that also makes our network engineers being more responsible.
More responsible.
Exactly. So I would always have this thought in my mind that I need to understand what I am doing really in this customer place, or how people are consuming my network. I need to understand their business very well. I need to know how their connectivity is impacting, or our connectivity, our network service is impacting their day-to-day functioning, or those kind of things. So that I'm able to tailor that, understand how important it is or how mission critical it is.
Yes.
Update my change process or incident process or monitoring process or whatever. So yeah.
Perfect. So what mindset shift you have seen? Because when we are talking about the networking, before 5 years, you're into the migration. A lot of things you are doing. अच्छा, migration वाली बात पे I want to add one more thing. It's a surgical strike kind of thing.
Yeah.
क्योंकि I know the pressure. I really respect the leaders, the managers like you. क्योंकि I don't think कि वो बाहर वाले लोगों को पता है कि नहीं पता. What pressure you carry एक माइग्रेशन जब होता है, what you have explained in just few minutes आपने बता दिया कि वो माइग्रेशन होता है, बट द रियल टाइम सिनेरियो हाउ प्रेशराइज इट इज. मैंने देखा है कि स्टॉक मार्केट्स की माइग्रेशंस मैंने देखी हैं, एंड आई थिंक इट इज वन ऑफ द फेस रिएक्शन स्पीक्स कितनी बड़ी चीज है. It's like you're on border, war zone पूरा चल रहा है ना.
They talk about microseconds, nanoseconds kind of thing.
Nanosecond they can't afford. Absolutely. And the people like you and many leaders I really respect. यार वो बंदे कर देते हैं. The parallel network you run, मतलब cannot afford a single second, nanosecond delay in the entire network. और वो पूरी migrations होती जा रही हैं, and it cannot be possible without the leaders and managers like you and others in the market. I really respect them.
SMEs, architects, actually the ground level tech guys जो खुद का दिमाग रख के वो कॉन्फ़िगरेशन करते हैं. तो हम सिर्फ बोलते हैं अभी तो मैं मैनेजर बन गया तो मैं सिर्फ बोलता हूँ, बट the actual ground level guys, I mean, they are good. They all have golden hands, I would say.
Seriously.
Yeah.
मतलब लोगों को पता नहीं चल रहा है how critical it is, how important it is.
Correct.
कितनी बड़ी चीज़ है. Networking itself is बस वो है कि बैच नहीं लगा हुआ है, नहीं तो otherwise plays an important role.
Absolutely.
तो I hope people who is watching can easily correlate कि what you are doing और ये network वाले बंदे करते क्या हैं. और इसको मैं आगे लेते हुए कह रहा हूँ, द माइंड सेट आई वॉज टॉकिंग अबाउट कि यार अभी यू वर टेकिंग द इंटरव्यूज नाउ डेज, लेट्स कंपेयर इट टू द बिफोर 5 और 10 years. क्या माइंड सेट शिफ्ट आ गया है अभी कैंडिडेट्स में व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग द इंटरव्यूज?
तो आई थिंक दिस माइंड सेट इज ड्रिवन बाय द इंडस्ट्री इटसेल्फ.
करेक्ट.
सो जैसे जब मैं करियर स्टार्ट किया, नेटवर्क इटसेल्फ वाज नॉट ए सेपरेट डोमाइन, बट सेम थिंग हैपेंड टू नेटवर्क अलोन. लाइक नेटवर्क में भी बहुत सारे फील्ड्स आ गए हैं. सो वी टॉक अबाउट एंटरप्राइज लैन, ISP became one other domain by itself. Telecom networking became by another product itself, because these days it is all data driven rather than voice driven networks, right?
Exactly.
So even telecom providers also, it's all fundamentally it's a data network.
Yes.
So on that they are actually running other services, whether it is voice or media or whatever it is, value-added services, whatever you are seeing, that's all data network. So but that became a different domain by itself, because whether you call about NFVs or whatever functionalities that we are talking about, so that became a different technology. So like that, there are specializations that are coming up in networking alone. So as an engineer, probably it is not possible for me to develop expertise on all the areas. So that one mindset is changing. Okay, what is that I can focus on? Should I focus on wide area networking, whether it is SD-WAN, different vendors, different technologies, or should I look at enterprise LAN only, wired wireless connectivity kind of thing, or data center networking, or maybe something else? So that's how it is. I mean, again, network, you have network security also.
Yes.
So which is probably overlapping with a lot on cybersecurity area. But वैसे ही network का security भी अलग है. आजकल भी firewall proxy का बात करते हैं, and cybersecurity team also need our collaboration where we have to both work together. So that is, I think, mindset is changing in terms of the job market, in terms of how I prepare myself and plan my career, in terms of how I plan my certifications or learning path and all that. Recruitment as well. So when I look for an engineer, I obviously ask, if I am running a SD-WAN project, how much do you know about SD-WAN? What vendors do you know? Can you integrate with a different cloud environment? Like, for example, if I am extending my SD-WAN into hyperscalers like AWS or something, do you know anything a bit about cloud networking also? So that is how my recruitment process goes. So obviously the person who is going to come in, he will know more about SD-WAN. He might not know much about enterprise wireless LAN, for example.
Exactly.
So that mindset is changing a bit, which is in a way is positive. But yeah, it depends on career level होता है ना नितिन जी. So आप जब ऊपर जाते रहते हैं आपका करियर में, SME से बढ़ के उसके बाद मे बी an architect or something, then you will have a fellow or something. So your narrowed thing will go much broader.
Much broader.
Yeah.
Right.
So it depends on that. But at mid level, I would say this is the mindset right now it is.
ठीक है. मेरा यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन, वन मोर थिंग आई वांट टू आस्क कि अगर मैं आपके पास लाइक यू कंटिन्यूड विद योर हायरिंग एंड ऑल, अगर आप हायरिंग ले रहे हैं, कर रहे हैं, सो यू हैव अ कैंडिडेट विद दी CCNP सर्टिफाइड, मतलब बड़ी सी सर्टिफिकेशन, CCIE सर्टिफिकेशन, लेकिन टेक अ स्टैम्प एंड वो लोगो लगा के रिज्यूम में आया एंड यू आर टेकिंग द इंटरव्यूज.
Yes.
सो मतलब उससे कितना इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है? लेट्स से यू आर हायरिंग अ गाय फॉर द L2 प्रोफाइल, L2 प्लस प्रोफाइल, 10 लाख 12 15 लाख कुछ इसके बीच में यू आर हायरिंग. सो आपका प्राइम फोकस क्या रहता है? वो सर्टिफिकेशन या वो रिज्यूमे में क्या रहता है देखने का?
एक ऑनेस्ट वाला बात बताता हूँ. CCIE, अगर if I see somebody, then obviously I will be firstly little jealous because I could not do it myself. लेकिन वो तो पड़ता है सर. But yes, certification is not everything. Definitely, skills are most important. One exception probably for CCIE is because you also have a lab environment. So if he has really finished CCIE, then that means he has actually gone through a bit of hands-on and practical thing like build, break, build kind of exercise जो करते हैं exam के time पे. So that would have become handy. But otherwise, certifications is not the only thing. That just stops at HR evaluation level. So because you get a lot of profiles, so some filtering has to happen anyway. So that certification will help there. But once the level 1, level 2 technical assessment comes in, then we will just look at how much practical experience he has,
Right.
how much he's able to do other areas of the thing.
What are the key topics that you focus? कैसे स्किल सेट क्या देखते हो आप सबसे ज़्यादा? मतलब क्या है आपको फेवरेट है कि ये बंदा मेरा डेटा प्रोफाइल मैनेज कर लेगा, राउटिंग स्विचिंग या सिक्योरिटी? चलो सिक्योरिटी एवरीवन नोज द फायरवॉल्स,
Correct.
बट राउटिंग स्विचिंग में अगर कोई बंदा हायर कर रहे हो डेटा में, तो की स्किल सेट क्या आप देखते हो? एक ऐसा बंदा जो दैट टाइम लाइज इन बिटवीन 10 to 15 lakhs, उसको इतना आना चाहिए.
Okay. तो हमारा भी प्रोफाइल थोड़ा अलग अलग रहते हैं.
Okay.
एक तो एक ऑपरेशंस का रहता है, BAU ऑपरेशंस वाला.
ऑपरेशंस का रहता है.
थोड़ा माइंडसेट थोड़ा अलग रहता है ऑपरेशंस बंदा का.
राइट.
एंड देन यू हैव इंजीनियरिंग एंड डिप्लॉयमेंट जैसा.
Yes,
डिजाइन
exactly.
डिप्लॉयमेंट एक बकेट में रखते हैं.
Implementation, design,
हाँ,
yeah.
इम्प्लीमेंटेशन, डिजाइन, डिप्लॉयमेंट उनका थोड़ा अलग रहता है.
अलग रहता है.
सो डिपेंडिंग ऑन दैट वी लुक एट.
ऑपरेशन से स्टार्ट करते हैं.
ऑपरेशन स्टार्ट करते हैं.
क्योंकि सबसे पहले बंदे को वही पता होता है.
Exactly. I like that domain. Although I am leading an engineering team, I am passionate about BAU.
अच्छा.
Because BAU guy has to be in real time.
Okay.
It's not like एक मैं डेटा सेंटर इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया, अगर कुछ गलत हो तो मैं रोल बैक करूंगा. No problem. But BAU is not like that. If there is a mistake, that will impact, that will stop the business right away. So BAU is much more knowledgeable guy than this one.
Exactly.
Contrary to a popular notion.
Yes.
People think that if I'm doing deployment, then I'm a big guy. No, I would think that BAU is more knowledgeable. Has to be more knowledgeable. तो क्या देखते हैं? One is that technical skills तो common है in the product that we are going to support, whether it is SD-WAN, SD-LAN or traditional networking, routing, switching, जो भी है. So we will look at the fundamental skill in that area. Then we will look at how much does he know about the processes, whether it is ITIL kind of processes or whatever standard operational thing that you need to follow, comply with. That knowledge we will look at, because that is like a second hand of, so one is right hand if skills and left hand is that process. Because day in day out, whether it is incident, whether it is change, whether it is MACD request like move, add, change, delete kind of day-to-day service requests, or even interactions, reporting, all that will have to comply to some standard. Typically, most organizations follow ITIL type of standards. So we look at that knowledge. Second thing is, couple of areas I dig little deeper. One is incident management and other is change management. Because most of the engineers that we look at, they have to be knowledgeable on how do you do the incident management and how do you do the change management.
ठीक है,
सर्विस मैनेजमेंट ठीक है, ITIL एक्सपर्ट को लेके आता हूँ, वो गाइड कर पाते हैं.
ठीक है.
बट इंसिडेंट में शायद उतना, क्योंकि इट इज़ मोर टेक्निकल, इंसिडेंट इज़ मोर टेक्निकल. सो लेट्स से if you are doing incident management, how do you do your troubleshooting?
Right.
How do you prepare an RCA?
Yes.
Because again the language जो RCA में use करते हैं, that depends on, that will reflect on your reputation to the customer.
Right.
Whether are you able to solve the problem? ऐसा हो गया कि problem तो आता है. I mean every device is bound to fail. Yes. Every hardware system is bound to fail. Every software will have a bug. That is the notion that we go with. अगर ऐसा कुछ है तो हमका redundance का ज़रूरत नहीं है और backup का ज़रूरत नहीं है, इतना बड़े-बड़े boxes रखने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. Every box will have a problem. Yes. Every software piece will have a problem. That is why we build resiliency. But how are you solving it? In how much time are you able to solve it? तो and where was the problem really? Like I said, especially networking, जब भी problem आ गया, पहले तो networking पास ही कॉल आता है. So how much am I able to isolate the problem and then say that either it is in network domain or somewhere else? Because I have to do that job, whether I do packet capture, I use Wireshark or do the traffic analysis, or I actually do component by analysis and then see where the traffic is dropping. I need to have that knowledge. So वो troubleshooting वाला skills कहते हैं, बोल के देखते हैं. Then I mean that requires all your analysis, analytical skills, reasoning skills and all that. In fact, if I have to put it in one word, troubleshooting is an art, I would say. It is by practice only you will get it. It's not like something written in a book, I will just do and I'll troubleshoot. It's more of an art. And then second thing is change management, because that is also very critical. Change में भी बहुत सारे टेक्निकल चीज़ें रहते हैं, जैसे आप चेंज कैसे प्लान करते हो, कैसे एग्जीक्यूट करते हो, कैसे टेस्ट करते हो, और अगर प्रॉब्लम हो गया तो कैसे रोल बैक करते हो. सो ये सब टेक्निकली लिखना पड़ता है. I mean ITIL guy expert will come and he will tell you that these are the areas that you need to cover. बट वो जो एरिया के अंदर जो हमको कहानी बोलना पड़ता है, आई एम सॉरी, नॉट स्टोरी रियली, बट दैट वी हैव टू डू एज अ टेक्निकल इंजीनियर.
Yes.
सो आई नीड टू स्पेसिफाई ऑन माई स्टेप्स ऑफ एग्जीक्यूशन, steps of validation, what is my go no go kind of checkpoint that I have during the change process, especially if you do a complex changes like a complete data center migration, DC shift कर रहे हैं, either on-prem से cloud shift कर रहे हैं. It's a long process. You will actually end up spending the entire weekend to do that. So in a 48-hour window, how much time you actually segregated for each activity, and where is that you can take a call of go no go.
Yes.
So as a tech guy, I need to bring in that logical milestone at every point in time. And then I need to decide, oh no, I'm not going well, I think I need to go back. Because I should have enough time to roll back also and then bring the business back online.
Yes.
So that is why we try to focus more on incident and change management. So typically this is what we do. I mean customer communication तो common skills, soft skills तो रहते ही हैं, because you end up writing a lot of emails and exchange notes with customers. To be honest, even that is also one area that I find a little lacking in our new generation, as I would say. But thankfully, everybody started using AI, Copilot के हिसाब से. So now every mail looks same because Copilot behaves the same way. So people are using AI, which is actually a positive thing. And by the way, I think you were talking about AI earlier also, and when we met earlier as well in the previous discussion. I think we should not ignore that AI part. Even in RCA, even in change management, even in my regular operations thing, I should make use of AI if it is available to me.
Okay.
Because that brings in all the knowledge in a very quick time. Mm-hmm. So if I have to list down like 5 I's in my RCA analysis, AI is going to suggest, why should I break my head? It is not that I don't have to know. I need to give right prompt to the system. But why can't I use that knowledge as well? Mm-hmm. At least I can look better, right? I mean, in front of the customer, I can look more knowledgeable. And I am utilizing all the resources that I have. So we should make use of AI as well.
So I think you already...
But we are not interviewing guys like that right now. तो ऐसा नहीं कर रहे हैं. But yeah, these are the areas we look for in the...
This is my question. Actually, I'm supposed to ask you like how AI is going to impact. Everyone's talking about, sir, AI आ गया है. एक तो ना बच्चों का mindset है. मेरे से question जरूर पूछते हैं. They usually ask me like, sir, the cloud is here. What happened to the networking? Usually they ask. I don't know where they find this question, but they usually ask, sir, due to the cloud आ गया है. So what happened to the network engineer? Do they get what about their jobs in the future? Sir, AI आ गया है. What is the future of the network engineer? Can you answer this thing?
नेटवर्क कहीं नहीं जाने वाला है. वो तो मैं जरूर बोल सकता हूँ. ये आ गया तो शायद कुछ डिजाइन वाले चाहिए, maybe it is becoming redundant, but of course people are saying that art is one thing that might stay. I don't know. But networking is not going anywhere. In fact, we are getting more powerful because of AI. So, if I can say, AI is impacting in every sphere of our this one. Earlier हम सिर्फ मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे थे, उसके बाद प्रोएक्टिव मॉनिटरिंग हो गया, उसके बाद अभी ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी बोलते हैं, उसके बाद अभी नॉट ओनली ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी बट प्रिडिक्टेबल ऑब्जर्वेबिलिटी बोलते हैं, क्योंकि ए के हिसाब से ए इज एबल टू गैदर ऑल द इन्फॉर्मेशन इन वन गो. इट इज एबल टू, आई मीन ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव टू बिल्ड सम मॉडल्स एनीवे, so that modeling has to happen. At this moment, not many consolidated models are there. Every vendor has its own kind of thing. Like Juniper has its own way of doing the AI-based observability. Cisco has its own way of doing it. Maybe there are third-party companies, like for example, there are few companies which are coming up, which are trying to be vendor agnostic in building the AI-based tools for observability and management. But yeah, AI is starting from there, to the configuration management, to the asset lifecycle management, and to troubleshooting. So it's one is that it is bringing in that consistency and error freeness to the way we run the network. And second is positive and negative. Positive thing is I can interact with the network now. So I have a large network. I can just interact it, like saying that, okay, I have this user reporting that his web app is not working properly. Please tell me which device or link has a problem. So it is going to look at all the incidents, events, status, whatever, and it is going to pinpoint and tell me that that particular WAN link in that particular location is having high utilization, hence you are having a packet loss. And that is why this user is not able to do it. So instead of me sifting through a lot of logs and all that, it's able to do it quickly. But the negative thing is, if I'm a entry level guy, I should not depend on that or stop learning what actually is happening, how AI is able to do it. I think I should know that really. Although I am using it, but yeah, I should also know that, कैसे पता पाया AI ने, कहाँ ढूंढा,
yes. The answer you already given before कि क्या अब मतलब मुझे नहीं लग रहा है next 4 or 5 years the kids knows how to write an email. क्या है कि वो दे गिव अ प्रॉम्प्ट कि भाई मेरी छुट्टी की एक मेल डाल दे, एंड इफ यू वर्किंग एट दैट लेवल तो वो सेम ही तरीके से मेल्स आती हैं सबकी, वो जस्टिफिकेशन भी सेम लगती है, द पैरा दे वे, क्योंकि एआई इज जस्ट लर्निंग, वो सेम तरीके से निकाल के देती है. तो आई थिंक दिस गोना इम्पैक्ट कि यार एक चीज को कैसे एक्सप्रेस किया जाता है. और आई थिंक हम, मेरे ख्याल से इफ यू आर ऑन लीडरशिप लेवल, अभी थोड़े टाइम में वी गॉट फेड अप, इतनी क्या है, एआई खुद लिखते हैं तो 4 लाइन लिखते हैं, अब एआई से लिखते हैं तो 40 लाइन्स आती हैं, 30 लाइन्स आती हैं, तो यू हैव टू फाइंड द राइट वे कि वो क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं. तो देयर इज इन लास्ट 3 or 4 लाइन्स दैट इज द मेन पर्पस. पहले वो स्टार्ट में बोरिंग करता है, वो तो एक्चुअली फॉलोइंग द ट्रेंड, जो भी तरीका है. बट समवेयर मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि देयर इज अ डे जब मैं अनाउंस कर दूंगा कि भाई नो वन इज राइटिंग मी फ्रॉम द एआई. मेरे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है कि मैं आपकी इतनी सारी लाइन्स पढूं. मतलब देयर वाज अ टाइम एआई से पहले किसी को छुट्टी चाहिए तो 2 पॉइंट बताते थे कि फैमिली में फंक्शन है सर, मुझे दिस इज द
छुट्टी चाहिए एक दिन का.
अब नाउ दिस इज आई एम वेरी डिलाइटेड वर्किंग हियर एंड दिस इज एंड दैट,
एवरीबॉडी इज बिकमिंग शशि तरूर.
writing in that
nice
way.
English, excellent vocabulary.
So if you have 4 emails, it takes 15-20 minutes going through it, सबकी पढ़ो, सबकी स्टोरी समझो, and when you're trying to reply them, फिर आपको खुद फील होता है यार शशि थरूर भी हमें भी बनना पड़ेगा, कॉपी पेस्ट एंड रिप्लाई फ्रॉम द सेम AI. True. So there was a guy who was just I'm adding something from this कि there was a guy who was like writing in an email back to back and writing the email in 10 lines, 15 lines, 20. I was fed up. मैंने कहा यार उसने conversation is going on from 4 or 5 mail trail. मैंने AI से उठाया, कॉपी मारा AI को, मैंने कहा एक पॉइंट को ना एनहांस कर. आई जस्ट गिव अ प्रॉम्प्ट, मैंने कहा उसको एक पॉइंट को एनहांस कर, और पूरी मेल कवर करके उसने डे 1 से क्या लिखना शुरू किया था, मैंने क्या समझाया, मैंने कहा मैंने एज लॉन्ग एज पॉसिबल ना मेल लिख दिया, और मेल आई दैट आई कैन नॉट रीड इट अगेन. वो प्रूफ रीडिंग करते हैं ना, मैंने खुद नहीं कर पाया, इतनी बड़ी मेल थी. आई जस्ट कॉपी पेस्ट फॉरवर्डेड, रिप्लाई नहीं आया. ये दैट इज द बेस्ट यूज ऑफ एआई.
करेक्ट. एग्जैक्टली
जैसे को तैसा हिंदी में बोलते हैं. So like if you go back in the time, मैं आज की अभी करंट सिचुएशन में बोलता हूँ कि मैं अभी करंट सिचुएशन में 2025, I'll take you back in the 10 years. मैं आपको वापस 10 साल पे चले जाता हूँ. That is the 2025. What you gonna change today? मतलब आप कैसे स्टार्ट करोगे दोबारा आज?
पर्सनली बोलूँ या
पर्सनली थोड़ा सा इन जनरल मिला के.
अच्छा, I would think I would accelerate this learning path definitely. So maybe I was able to keep in touch with the technology because maybe, like I said, the opportunities also helped me. Somehow I was able to be in that time in that particular project, so that helped me learn. but I think I will accelerate the technology. I I wish I could have been in a little bit of a strategy kind of mode, looking little bit ahead of what is going to happen. So how do I build the strategy? It is not just the tech skill. So I need to have the tech skill as a foundation anyway. That has to keep going in parallel throughout my life if I have to be engineer anyway. But you need to get little more business acumen. You need to get little more dealing with CXOs at the top level at the early stages. So you are able to build that story at that level. I mean, you need to tune the story appropriately. So when you are making a business case for a network refresh, for example, you go to a network manager, you tell a different story, but the same story probably is not applicable if I go and tell you, if I go sell the case to a CIO. So he needs to listen in a different manner. CEO, then completely different manner. So how do you build those skills? So that is what probably I would have planned really. So I will accelerate whether it is CCIE kind of technical skills that I would have added, and then broaden my knowledge. And then second thing is I would have done some courses in building that business acumen and how do I do make business discussions, business conversations kind of thing. And third, how do I build a strategy? So that I would have had little more earlier in my career is what I would think.
Excellent. Any message you want to give with your past experience to the viewers कि बच्चे आ रहे हैं इंटरव्यूज दे रहे हैं एंड दे वांट टू ग्रो, तो उनको क्या मैसेज देना चाहोगे दैट यस यू आर डूइंग गुड, एडवांस हो, फास्ट हो, ऑल गुड, but maintain that particular thing? So that message I want you to give.
Actually, you are right. So the generation that we have, they're quite energetic actually. They have a lot of excitement. They are willing to learn. But only thing is that attention span is little less. So they will easily get switched to a different area. But energy is there, enthusiasm is there, willingness to learn is there. Maybe a little stretch का ज़रूरत है. But फिर भी, I think what I would tell them is this, that don't go by the UI or what you see on the surface. Try dig little deeper. Have that engineer's mindset. So what I mean by engineer's mindset is what do you mean by thinking like an engineer, right? Engineer doesn't stop at what is the function of the box or whatever you see on the upper level, but they want to know what is under the hood. So you are curious to open up and see what is there, what chips are there, what circuits are there, what is the protocol doing, what is the packet pipeline, what is happening to the packet treatment at different stages within the ASIC, for example. So go deeper. So the advantage there is that one, you have much stronger foundational knowledge, which is useful irrespective of whatever technology that comes up next. Second thing is you will start appreciating the technology. You will love it. I mean, you feel like explaining to your mom. You go back, how this traffic queuing works, exactly like what happens on the road right now.
Yes.
Exactly how the traffic lights happen. That's exactly what is QoS is. So you will relate and you will start appreciating the technology a lot. So that I think that's a great advantage if you ask me, because the moment you start loving what you do, you will automatically excel, right?
Yes.
You don't have to. It's not like job anymore.
Yes.
So it becomes your passion. So that is what I would advise. Go little deeper, have that engineer's mindset. I don't know, I can't define it in 1-2 words of what engineer's mindset is. I think that probably you will think and you will know yourself.
Right.
But that is what I think I would suggest really.
Correct. It was an amazing conversation with you, Krishna. It's like
Thank you, Nitin.
A lot of things to discuss with you, but yeah, it's a time that I should move to the last part of the entire conversation, and that is the rapid fire round.
Okay.
After hearing you out, a lot of you. This podcast is not just for my viewers. This podcast is for me as well. The information that you have shared with me and the experience that you have shared. So we are moving to the last part of the this podcast that is called rapid fire round. So I'm going to ask you questions.
To shoot me down with the rapid fire kind of, so
it is slightly different.
Please make it soft, I would say.
So we are shooting you with the questions only. Okay, so let's start. One piece of career advice you think is overrated?
Overrated. I would say hardworking takes you places.
Okay.
It's not exactly true, because adaptive working is what is required.
Very good.
So it's a mix of hardworking plus smart working. So use the tools. Example is AI right now. Like I said, I will not feel shy of using AI. If I have to correct my communication email, I will use AI and do it. So adaptive working is what I would think, not just hard work.
Not just hard work. So be smart work.
Smart work.
Do it smartly. Okay. If not tech, what alternate career would you have, have pursued?
Perhaps my music या teaching में चला जाता था.
अच्छा, so you sing?
I do sing, yeah. I mean, not in public, but yeah, I learned it along with my daughter. So she did her Carnatic level 1 exam. So
Okay.
she used to go to a music teacher. I used to accompany her.
अरे,
So
very good.
तो इतना मैं सीख नहीं पाया, लेकिन या थोड़ा SPB जैसा फील करता हूँ कभी-कभी. I don't know whether others feel or not, but I will feel myself.
Yes. Most underrated tool or concept in networking?
Tool or concept? Tool, I can't think of any really. Maybe some early tools are still useful actually. In fact, WhatsApp Gold जैसा tool अभी भी useful है, because that is exactly how we still do it. But concept is this network documentation
Okay.
is definitely underrated. Or I mean, kind of ignored. That is extremely critical. If I can't document the network, I can't manage it.
Yes.
So it's unfortunately we don't pay a lot of attention, but that becomes really handy when you are dealing with a very critical incident or priority incident. So I would say network documentation is that concept. Underrated but highly critical.
Great. Next question. Best part about the Bangalore
Weather,
weather?
yeah. Bangalore weather is really, really good.
You enjoy?
I'm from Hyderabad, so
Okay.
I can really vouch for it. It's quite hard there or anywhere in Telangana that way. So Bangalore weather is quite. I mean, I kind of do biking once in a while. So Bangalore weather
You
allows
enjoy.
me to do that. Yeah, exactly.
तो कितना टाइम हो गया बैंगलोर में?
मैं तो 25 साल हो गया.
25 years?
Yeah. When I came here for my almost like I said, I started my career here. So 25 साल से
Almost
ज़्यादा
you are now
Yeah.
Bangalorean, huh?
I am a Kannadiga.
Kannadiga now.
Yeah. Amma Nadu,
Perfect.
Kannada Nadu.
So cloud certification or hands-on on PCs?
Hands-on anytime. Certification may be required, but hands-on
On
is
POCs.
absolutely necessary. Yeah, on POC is absolutely necessary.
It is
I
important.
complete. Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. One non-technical habit that made you a better professional?
मैं कभी-कभी पजल्स करता रहता हूँ.
अच्छा.
हाँ, so I mean, like I said, troubleshooting is one area. Somehow I'm curious about how troubleshooting happens. You have all the mathematical models are there. I mean, reams and reams of books have been written on troubleshooting, but there is a commonsensical approach as well. That commonsensical approach comes in with your reasoning skills and quick thinking, intuition, thinking on the foot बोलते हैं ना. So how do you develop that? I thought puzzles and doing something different is one way. So that I think really helped me.
Great. Excellent. मतलब lot of pool of knowledge that you have, and I really enjoyed the entire conversation. मतलब अभी तो कितना ऐसा लग रहा है पूछना है आपसे, and but end of the day we have to wind up the session. But
Yeah, sure.
really enjoy the entire conversation with you.
It's same with me, Nitin. In fact, the kind of questions you asked also made me think. शायद I would have done something different or something. क्या कुछ मैं गलत तो नहीं किया मैं करियर में ऐसा. Yeah, maybe I would have done differently. Obviously, right? Everyone will have that option, I think. I'm not regretting what I have done, because somehow opportunities helped me.
Opportunities help.
And my seniors helped me.
Yes.
You need to have mentors. So I was fortunate to have those mentors and people who helped me learn and grow. So, but yeah, you did ask questions that make me think. Yeah, maybe it's a worth. So probably I'll still go back and keep thinking, I guess.
नहीं.
Sure.
If you're happy, so it means you did right.
Yeah.
If you're in my podcast, it means you did right.
Yeah. Possible, yes.
Just kidding.
I'll
नहीं,
take that, yes. Yeah.
That you have lot of information. We viewed your profile. ऐसा नहीं है, कुछ levels हैं shortlist करने के, and we shortlisted your profile because we have seen that you have done the right thing.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we are most welcome to the podcast, and I really wish कि मैं दोबारा कुछ ना कुछ आपके साथ जल्दी करूँ.
नहीं मिलते रहेंगे वैसे भी.
Thank you
sure.
very much, Krishna.
Thank you very much, Nitin.
Great.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have you here.
Nice to have
So
you.
guys, this is not just the finish. I told you, you have to follow us. So please let others know about the podcast, what we are doing, how we are doing. So these guys are not coming from the Bollywood or Hollywood or the sports, sportsmen or what. These are the, regular people, but they are not regular. They have done something differently in the market. They are useful to us, and as a human, not even as a human, but as a character, what they have played in the life, the right goals, the right things, what they have done, what we started. So they are more underrated, but yes, they are the right ideal person if we want to spend a good life in a particular domain, grow and enjoy. So thank you, Krishna, for giving all this.